Yo, and welcome to another Origin special here on No Cap. This is Saul. I'm with, as always, the best. How are you, my friend?
Hang on, brother.
Yeah, not bad, man. Mate, what the hell was that last week for New South Wales?
I think we said that, eh? We said that the game was. Oh, we were saying how Queensland have an act of fielding a terrible squad and still getting the win over New South Wales, and we said that New South Wales had to be wary of that. And I don't know,
Um,
man. They kind of went into autopilot after 10 nil up.
mate, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And New South Wales, we were watching the game, right? And me and you watching it pretty closely. Up until they scored the first try, New South Wales, it was the worst match I've ever seen. Like legit,
I
first
mean,
half was the worst match.
I remember watching it, and New South Wales were 10 nil up, and I was saying, I remember you telling me that I was saying that this is the
We were
worst
talking
game I've
about
ever
it,
seen
yeah.
in my life. It
Yeah,
was the
and
worst
then
Origin game, and then Capewell made the break.
made the break.
But yeah, even with New South Wales 10 nil up, I found it so boring. Like
It was an Origin
there
match.
was no, yeah, it did not feel like an Origin. It felt like a top four squad versus a bottom four squad, and then the bottom four squad just snatching it away from at the end.
Legit, that's what happened. And the thing is, Queensland, they're so good at geeing themselves up. I don't know what Wayne does. I don't know if it's what Wayne's given them or what Wayne tells them. I don't think it's much, but man, he has something in there inside him that just pumps the boys up. I don't know. He doesn't say much, but it was pretty comical after the game. But dancing, hugging everyone, getting into it.
Look, I mean, let's. I mean, look, all credit goes to Queensland for coming away with that victory, but I mean, Queensland didn't play well either. They
Oh, not at
um
all,
they
not at
scored
all.
they scored that first try and it got them on the front foot and they just went bang 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 and they got into an 8 point lead and that was enough to get them over for the game, which is I mean they didn't have a squad to have that. They did not. The squad that they have shouldn't have given them that lead. So respect to them for getting that lead. But even then, there was nothing exciting about them. I mean, Capewell, unlikely source of energy that everyone. I mean, he came in for Branko Lee at the last minute. No one thought he was going to turn the game on its head, and he
Do
did.
anything at all.
Started the, he started the onslaught for the Queenslanders. And then there was another one that was just a poor offload by Tupou
A
that led to
monster.
Munster picking up the ball and going. And what was the third try? The third try was
The Dan Gagai break. He broke Jack
that's
White and
right, yeah. And he kicked
typical
it, and
Gagai.
Capewell
Typical,
kicked it.
yeah, typical Gagai overperforming in Origin. I've never seen him do that for South or for anyone of his club teams. But comes Origin, this guy switches on. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what the hell it is,
Yeah,
man. But you know what?
yeah. I'm not.
We said look, if it's going to come down to it, if it's a close match, the halves. It's going to come down to the halves, right? And to be fair, I say it, Queensland's got better halves than New South Wales. I mean, Munster and Cherry Evans are better than Cleary and Kiri. And we
In
said that
hindsight,
coming.
they are.
No, but we're coming in even. Munster coming off a grand final victory. Cherry Evans, he rises to the occasion. On paper, I know Cleary had a really good season. Kiri, we didn't know really much about him, obviously in the Origin arena. But we said one of these halves combos got to do something, and Queensland did. They stepped up like they've always done before.
Yeah. Look, I mean, going into game one, I think everyone was putting Cleary and Kiri as the informed halves of the going into Origin. Um, Munster and Cherry Evans. I mean, Cherry Evans had a decent season, but nothing real exciting going on at Manly. So there was questions about how was he going to perform in Origin. But we know that Cherry Evans does perform in Origin.
It does.
Look, in hindsight now, we are looking at probably the better halfback combo, which is Cherry Evans and Munster, because their experience probably what won them the game at the end of the day. Um, Cleary was nowhere to be seen for most of the game. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what was going on with. To be honest, I don't know if it was maybe he's still got the grand final in his head, or I don't know if it was. I mean, it just looked like the team wasn't set properly. Even I don't know if this is
On
a
paper,
Brad
but
Fittler issue. I don't
but
know if this is a Brad Fittler issue too.
I don't think so because on paper they look like okay. They've got the top three WM placings in there. They've found a way to put them in there. I mean, Wyden and Gutherson. We said it. I said it, and I'm pretty sure you backed me up. We said man, they're not centers. They're not centers, and they got exposed. But yeah, they've been given another chance in the same positions. I think
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. Maybe this is a Brad Fittler issue. Maybe his tactics are not up to scratch, and it's getting some players out of the groove.
I mean we've
Kyrie's
commended.
biggest. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm saying we've commended Brad Fittler for bringing the passion back into the Blues, right? Making them want to play for it. We always question, whether New South Wales means anything to them. That's an example of where it meant more to Queensland than New South Wales. New South Wales came in and thought they're going to stroll through the game. And they underestimated Queensland, no doubt. And that's the thing, man. New South Wales, every time we're cocky, every time we've got the better team, I always say it, man, you got to be careful. You got to be careful because it always comes back to bite us on the ass, honestly.
Yeah, look, I agree. Brad Fittler did bring back some of the passion, some of the more exciting football that we've played over the last 15 years. However, even with the selection this year, I mean, me and you off camera, we're always questioning selections for New South Wales, and I think over the last couple of years, we tend to agree a bit more with what Fittler picked for Origin. This year was probably the one year where we started to drift away and think, why is this guy selected? Why is this guy selected? Maybe this guy should have got selected instead of this guy. So I don't know if Fittler maybe needs to go back to what was working for him and picking players maybe on form, especially players that are being a bit more dynamic. I mean, like to be honest, Gutherson and Jack Wyden deserve a spot in the squad. But I mean, if you're going to drop Keary, you might as well just put Jack Wyden there and bring in a natural centre. I don't know why they've dropped Keary and put Cody Walker in.
Well, let's look.
I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the New South Wales team. Let's say, obviously, they've dropped Keary. They put Cody Walker in his place. Murray's out, obviously, to the injury. Cordner's out because of the concussion. He's gone for the series as well. I thought there's going to be more changes. And you're saying you don't understand why. Well, you're saying you don't understand why Walker's in for Keary?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's not that I think Walker shouldn't be picked there. I think he's had a great season. However, having a look at, the centres, I understand that you need to put Wyden there and Gutho because they've had great seasons. But I think this is probably the scenario where you just go, okay, Jack Wyden's had a great season. Let's put him at his natural position or his position that he's played all season, which is 5'8".
Exactly.
And then maybe go for a Crichton in the centres where, the link up with Crichton and Cleary, that might have given Cleary a bit more confidence if you were going to stick with him for this game.
Exactly.
Especially along the lines of, 2 tries coming out from mistakes from both centres, I think Gutherson, 1 try came from his mistake, and then I believe there was a mistake that Jack Wyden made that also led to a try. So
yeah. 7 tackles Jack Wyden in the centres. That's not normal for Jack Wyden. He doesn't do that. But that goes back to he's not used to the position as well. So he's gone for another risk here, man. And the thing is, you're saying that if he's going to back Cleary, for me, if you're going to back Cleary all the way and all through his career, you've got to give him plays that he's comfortable with. Penrith won 17 in a row. Put the players in. You've picked them, put them in.
Yeah, look, I agree. There's certain things that players in this team just don't do that Cleary has in the Panthers that they do. If you just look at the second row, you look at players like Kikau and Liam Martin. When Cleary puts that midfield kick or that crossfield kick that kind of lands in the second row position, you've got Liam Martin and Kikau attacking those balls. I haven't seen Angus Crichton or Tyson Frizzell do anything in regards to that. To be fair, not many kicks were going up, but yeah, I don't think Fittler's playing to the strengths of his players. I feel like he's going with a game plan that he envisions in his head, but it's not really suiting the other players. And I think that's probably the downfall of New South Wales at the moment.
I mean, I think he
I think
looks
it's
at yeah.
I think it's mainly focused around getting quick play the balls with Damien Cook and all that. But
Around the
I mean,
ruck.
maybe with Cody Walker there, that those quick play the balls, might come into play. But we know Kiri's good at quick play the ball scenarios, especially in the blind side, and that not much happened for Kiri in that game. So it'll be interesting to see how New South Wales go. I mean, this is do or die. If you lose this one, it's an absolute embarrassment, to be honest.
Oh, massive! It would be a massive embarrassment. And you're talking about how they play around the ruck. I mean, that's how they won. That's how they win their games in Origin. Usually, the last few years with him, Cook getting out dummy half, getting a little mini break, and then Tedesco on the back of that. But Tedesco's 100%, and we saw that on last Wednesday. He wasn't himself. He is battling injury and he's playing through it.
How's Pappy? Is he still gone?
Yeah, they didn't pick him, so he's still injured. He's still with the calf issue. I mean, you think he'd come in as well, maybe into the contention for that interchange role, but apparently still injured. But Teddy's not 100%, so you've got to give something to your halves because they've got to be the ones that create. If Teddy can't do anything, then it falls back on them, right? So I mean, Walker and Cleary, it happened game one last year, and it didn't work out. You remember that? I lost game one as well last year. They blamed Walker. They dropped him.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of thing going about. Cody Walker showed a lot more energy, but I mean that's what you expect from Cody Walker, especially if he's coming on with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah,
That's the kind of thing you expect. I'm interested to see how he goes for the whole 80 minutes because there's no halfback or 5'8" on the bench, so. If things are not working for New South Wales, what is he going to do? Is he going to put Cody Walker in centre and put Jack White in the halves?
I mean, yeah, like they don't have a playmaker on the bench. You look at that bench. They brought in Finucane. They brought in. They put Junior Paulo back on the bench. They've brought in Isaiah Yeo into the bench as well. I mean, like you said, I mean, you don't really have that option. And like, what does Cody do? Does that happen? Crichton goes to centre. If it's not working out, Crichton centre, Walker off, widen to 6. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look, I mean, going away from all the what ifs, what's going to happen in the game, or what we think. I think the one positive thing that comes out of Newcastle's team list this week is that it's a great bench.
New South Wales.
I don't agree. I don't think Junior Paulo. I don't think Junior Paulo should have been dropped to the bench. I think he had a good game last week. It's just New South Wales didn't do much with the ball. Dale Finucane always puts in his work, and then you got Nathan Brown on the front foot. And then
Nathan Brown's the other one. Yeah, Nathan Brown's the other guy. Yep.
Yeah, and then you got Isaiah Yeo, who can pretty much is just like a halfback that plays in a lock position. So I'm interested to see what the bench do. If they could step up, that might get New South Wales the victory. If other players lack, but yeah.
I mean, just to end on this note, I mean, Kiri got blamed, absolutely shafted, I reckon unfairly. I mean, he was the one that was trying stuff last week. There's so much pressure. There's so much pressure on Cleary this week, especially now they gave him vice captain. I mean, what the hell? Bro, just let the guy play. Let the guy focus on playing the game, not leading. Not being vice captain and getting into all that. The stuff that doesn't matter. That's not important.
I don't understand this. See, this is another question mark I have of Fitler, right? I don't even know how you named James Tedesco captain. As if you don't name Jake Trbojevic, right?
Bang, that's the guy. That's the guy.
Isn't he the obvious choice? Is that guy that just works hard and just somebody that kind of leads by example. I don't know, man. I mean,
man, you said it. Hey, you said it. That is another. Again, we'll see how that works out. We'll see how that works.
You've also got. I mean, like as much as you don't like him, but you got Clint Gutherson, who showed he's been a great captain this year for Parramatta. So.
Oh, look, I'm not saying nothing about Guther, but he's not a centre. Again, he got exposed, and it's not fair to him. I'm not saying he's fault or anything. It's just not fair to him when he gets exposed, and then everyone gives it to him and blames him. Put him in that position.
I agree. He looks a bit lost in attack. He looks like he doesn't know what to do. He did do some good things. I mean, those the quick pass to Adokar to get him over a couple of times, which was pretty good. But yeah, you can just see that it's something that he's not familiar with, and I hope he has a good game this week. I hope him and Jack White both have a good game this week, because if they don't, then
There's
you
gonna be a lot
know,
of
they
questions.
might
It's
miss
gonna be
out
a
on
lot
some
of questions, man. It's gonna be ugly. I'll tell you, it's gonna be very ugly if they don't win this. Let's go to Queensland's team. Brimson's out, injured for the series. Hess is out. I think he got dropped. And who's the third guy out? Welch. He's out.
Welch.
Brings in Valentine Holmes. He brings in Fodawaker. And he brings in Dynamis Louis. I swear to you, I reckon this is a better team than their first game.
I mean, that's probably like that's accurate. I mean, if you look at who was dropped, other than Welch, I think AJ Brimson, even if he was fit, I think Valentine Holmes was still going to take that spot.
Yeah.
And Colin Hess didn't really play that well on Wednesday night. So you got a young kid that's going to go out there and try to prove himself.
And again, they've brought
dangerous.
in. Yeah, and they've brought in again another Titan. Yeah, they brought in a Titan as well. Fodawaker. He was massive for the Titans this year, especially in their last couple of games in their run. I think Queensland, man, they're on such a high, but again, they know the decider is in Suncorp. Do you think they kind of won't give, not they won't give it all, but do you think they're going to try and go as hard in this game, like as in mentally? Because I think they're looking towards the decider at home and ambushing them there. They've already ambushed them one game, but...
No, look, I mean, at the end of the day, this is Origin. I don't think anyone's sitting there trying to give away games for the theatrics of it. I think they're going to try to get it as early as possible. I think if New South Wales don't turn up and it's another game between two bad sides, I think Queensland are in an advantage or in a better position than New South Wales, if that's how the game goes. If it goes to another one of those sluggish fests that both teams are not playing that well, I think Queensland might steal it again.
Hey, that's the thing. That's the thing, right? If Queensland get close in this game and New South Wales just managed to win, New South Wales going to have this false hope that, yeah, we won the game, this is the right team and whatnot. Queensland's going to get out of that game with even more confidence. New South Wales has to belt them like they belted them in Game 2 last year. Remember the game in the rain in Perth?
Yeah. But I mean, like even if New South Wales do win this and it's by a small margin, players don't perform. Yeah, and players don't perform. Bradfield has got to be, he's got to be the leader there, and he's got to be like, mate, you didn't perform. It's not the end of your Origin career, but we're going with somebody else, because if you start what's more important, winning Origin or not hurting somebody's feelings?
Exactly, and the thing that concerns me about New South Wales and what Queensland did well, why I'm going to wrap them here, is when it was going set for set, and then it went set for set for maybe 10 minutes. There was no mistakes in that first 10 minutes, second half. When they kept going back and forth, Queensland was willing to work harder, dig deeper. New South Wales, man, they didn't want no part of it. They were waiting for a penalty. They were waiting for something to piggyback them on the front foot.
Yeah. I mean, look, one thing is for certain, NRL need to scrap the Origin after. I mean, I could be wrong, but NRL need to scrap Origin after the season.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same feel. Maybe Game 2 will be different, but if we're talking about Game 1, it just didn't feel. I mean, the amount of time I was distracted throughout the game, we were sitting there with a few of our mates, and just conversations came up, and I just saw myself looking away from the TV, and it's just not something that. I mean, I never do that in Origin. I'm always, adrenaline's pumping, heart's pumping hard, and you're just nervous. Even if you're up by 16, so you're still nervous about the comeback. There was New South Wales up 10-0, and I was just like, this is the most boring game I've ever seen in my life.
I think it comes back to we thought that New South Wales, general consensus was this is easy for New South Wales. Second of all, it was a crap game, so that kind of put you off. At half time, you thought, yeah, it's done. Queensland don't look like they're doing anything either. They had the lowest ratings, for nearly 20 years, so that's another indicator. I think the fact that Queensland won is going to bring a lot more eyes back in. I think it kind of brings back a bit more of that emotion you're talking about that you feel, because it is do or die for New South Wales. You know, we're versus an underdog team, but they're up for the challenge. Queensland's going to come out. I know I threw that kind of, you know, will they want to do the theatric thing, you know, leave it to the decider. They'll come out at New South Wales and punch them. It's whether the New South Wales going to, you know, grow some cojones and get up and hit back, man, and show them that they're the better team. Because they're the better team. There's no doubt about that. But are they mentally strong enough to get in the battle?
I guess we'll find out.
I mean, that's the thing. And I agree with you. Man, look, the injuries is a concern after the Origin. That's another thing. We didn't get the, you know, full squads for both teams. A lot of names missing for Queensland. A lot of names missing for New South Wales. And in the middle of the year, I feel like this 1 week apart is too close. I need a couple of extra days for the build, you know what I mean? This is coming in, well, you know?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, we're talking about it on the night, and I feel like everyone was more excited for the grand final than they were for the Origin, which is not never necessarily the case. It's always Origin the most exciting thing about football, NRL. And then the grand final is just watching two teams play, and just, you know, you've obviously got who you want to win, but you're not really that invested. A lot of people were invested in this year's grand final. I think that the fact that the theatrics of what the grand final was, with Penrith being a young squad and everything, and you know, a lot of people wanting that young squad to get over and beating the old boys, a lot more people were invested in. I think that worked against Origin this year. So, you know, maybe this isn't a bad thing in regards to the, you know, when Origin is played. Maybe we just got unlucky with how the grand final, you know, the hype around the grand final. But if game 2 and game 3 don't come up a notch and don't get me interested, then I think we should just scrap it. I think Origin's a good thing to have in the middle of the season. Get you something, you know, excited about. Get ready for the finals, kind of thing.
Well, to be fair, I don't think it's going to be on after next season because the World Cup's next season. So I think they're going to go back to the normal way it was, pending, you know, hopefully everything in the world's normal. So I think that's not going to happen. But like you said, if Queensland winning is given this concept hope. You know what I mean? That first game, Queensland winning that first game gave it hope because we're all going to be watching even more interest at the end of the day, right? So New South Wales better get their act together and win it because the decider will be, I think that'll bring, if New South Wales can get the victory, the third game is going to bring all that emotion back into it, I think.
I agree, 100%. Yeah, I guess we're in for one.
Let's go. All right, tip. Let's go. Tip. Wednesday.
Tip. I'm going to go solely on the fact that I don't think that the changes were made for New South Wales were the correct changes. Not in regards to Cody Walker, more in regards to the centres. Actually, to be fair, I wouldn't take Jack Wider now. I'll put him at number 6, but I'd still keep Walker on the bench. I think he did play well in Origin. I think he's a spark that New South Wales do need, but I don't think starting is probably the best thing to put him in because it's hard to get in the groove when you're starting the game. You know what I mean? So if he comes in as an X factor, he can just be all over the shop, and you know he can just kind of interject himself into that game. So for that reason, I mean they've got a good bench, but
come on, New South Wales.
I think they will win. I think that was like a kick in the ass that they needed to snap out of it. But the changes that they've made, I don't think warrant a tip for them. However, we'll go New South Wales.
Hey, if you want to go Queensland, mate, say the word, man. Come on, man.
I never want to go Queensland, mate.
Mate, we're trying to be down the line here, right? There's no, you know, take the emotion out of it. Again, like last week, I thought last week was going to be close. It was. I got it wrong. I got the margin right. New South Wales by 4. I think New South Wales is going to win this. I think for, you know, they're not going to lose. No, they're not going to lose at ANZ Stadium. No way. If they do, my goodness, I don't want to know what's going to happen, man. I don't know what the hell's going to happen, bro.
bring in the whole Panther squad if they do for game 3.
Might as well bring the whole Panthers team. Why not? Is Kicker eligible? Bro, is Kicker eligible? No one's answered my question.
He's not. He didn't play
Come on,
junior
man.
football. I know, it's unfortunate.
Is there any
Queensland
penalty-
just keep getting away with us not being able to pick the best squad that we can because of people pledging for other countries, which I'm happy they do. It makes the World Cup more interesting. And then just other players, just the luck of it. I mean,
I just let them play. But give them Taumalolo. We'll take Kikau. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy for that to happen, man. Just let it happen.
but then we'll get Pangai Jr.
Yeah, well, good. We'll get him as well. Why not?
Yeah,
Bring them all, cuz. Bring everyone, cuz. Doesn't matter.
Even if Pangai Jr. was eligible, they'd probably still pick Angus Crichton.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, thanks, man. Appreciate your thoughts.
Cheers, son.
All right. Hey, once again, see you next week. Enjoy the game. Take care.